Hello, dear students. Today we are going to study together Unit 4, Lesson 2 entitled Zoe's Holiday Diary. Before we start, I want to ask you a question. How is Chinese food different from English food? For starters, the Chinese use chopsticks to eat while the English use knives and forks. What else? Also, Chinese cooks like to add fresh or dried spices when cooking like ginger, spring onion, pepper, and garlic. On the other hand, English cooks usually use processed spices like pepper powder and ketchup. Moreover, sweet desserts are served after English dinners. However, the Chinese have fresh fruit or tea for dessert. Now we are going to study together some food-related words. We'll start with the word meal. Please repeat after me. Meal, meal, meal. We have 3 meals. They are breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And for any meal, we have main dishes and side dishes and dessert. Please repeat after me. Main dish, main dish, main dish. Main dish can be like what? Like chicken or beef or fish. They are main dishes. The main dish can also contain shrimps or crabs, so the main dish usually contain meat. We have also flour. We use flour to make bread, vegetables to make salad. To prepare any meal, you have to follow the instructions of a recipe. What is a recipe? A recipe is a set of instructions for preparing a particular dish, including a list of ingredients required. For example, we have here the recipe for pasta with bacon and tomato sauce. In the recipe, you have the ingredients you need to make this meal, which are 1 red onion, 2 red peppers, 120 grams of bacon, 1 can of tomatoes, 1 cup of water, olive oil, garlic, and 50 grams of pasta per person. And after you have the ingredients, you will have to follow the method, the instruction. First, you have to cut the onion, red peppers, and bacon into small pieces. Second, heat some olive oil in a pan and fry the onion, red peppers, and bacon. Third, add garlic, tomatoes, and water and cook for 20 minutes. Fourth, cook the pasta in a big pot of boiling water. And finally, serve the pasta with the sauce and enjoy. This is the recipe for pasta with bacon and tomato sauce. Before we start our meal, we start with appetizers. Before the main dish, we start with appetizers. Appetizers can be soup or salad. Cooking verbs include grate, slice, peel, whisk, boil, fry, grill, bake, pour, scramble, simmer, spread, stir, taste, add, blend, roast, chop, steam, and roll. We're going to learn some of these cooking verbs in more detail now. We'll start with roast. Roast is the verb and roasted is the adjective. Roasted means cooked in the oven. For example, roasted chicken. It means chicken that is cooked in the oven. Roasted. Fried, fried, fried. Fried is also an adjective. We have fried chicken or French fries. Fried means cooked in oil. Fried. Fry is the verb. Fry means to cook in hot oil. To fry onions, for example, or fry meat, or fry chicken. To cook in hot oil. Fry. Chop, chop, chop. Chop is a verb which means to cut into small pieces. We usually chop vegetables. Chop vegetables. Chop onions. Pieces, pieces, pieces. Pieces is a noun which means small parts. Cut the pizza into pieces or cut the cake into pieces.
Slice, slice, slice. Slice is a verb which means to cut things into slices, and we usually slice fruits. So we chop vegetables and slice fruits. Boil, boil, boil. Boil is a verb which means to heat liquid till it becomes very hot because of high temperature. For example, boil water. Peel, peel, peel. For example, peel banana, peel apples, peel. Add. Add is a verb which means to put something with or on something else. For example, he added sugar to his tea. Add flour to eggs, for example, to make a cake. Add. Mix. Mix. Mix is a verb which means to combine things together. For example, here, mix flour with eggs. Mix. Chew. Chew. You chew food. For example, you're not allowed to chew gum. You have to chew your food slowly so that you don't get indigestion. Chew means to eat. Bowl. 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 Bowl is a noun which means a round and deep dish used for food or soup. Bowl. Pan. 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 Pan is a noun which means a flat thing we cook in. We cook eggs, for example, in a frying pan. Pan. Chopsticks. 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 Chopsticks is a noun which means two thin sticks used to eat food in different countries in Asia. For example, as in China, Japan, or Thailand, they eat with chopsticks. Chinese, Chinese, Chinese. Chinese is an adjective which means something or someone from China. Soft drink, soft drink, soft drink. Soft drink is a noun like juice, for example. Juice is a soft drink. Market, market, market. Market is a noun which means a place to buy things. For example, you buy vegetables and fruit from the market. Tasty, tasty, tasty. Tasty means delicious, yummy. Different, different. Different is an adjective which means not the same. Different. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Interesting is an adjective which means exciting. This is an interesting book. It's exciting. Difficult, difficult, difficult. Difficult is an adjective which means hard. The exam was difficult. It was hard. This question is difficult. It's hard. Now we are going to read together a page from the holiday diary of a girl called Zoe. Zoe wrote the diary when she was on a holiday in Beijing. Do you know where Beijing is? It's the capital city of China. As you read, try to find out what Zoe found surprising. Read a page from Zoe's holiday diary. What did Zoe find surprising? Let's start. Zoe's holiday diary. Zoe started by writing the date, Thursday, 8th April. We are in Beijing for a few days, and we said Beijing is the capital city of China. The food here is very different from Britain, and it's interesting to see people cooking in the markets and on the streets of the city. So what is the difference here between Britain and China? That people cook in the markets and on the streets in China. Whereas in Britain, I believe they cook in the kitchen. People in China don't have just one main dish for their dinner. Usually, when you have a meal, you have only one main dish and the rest are side dishes. But in China, this is not the case. In China, they don't have one main dish, they have lots of dishes. Each dish is different and they eat them at the same time. Usually there are meat dishes, chicken or beef, then a vegetable dish, a fish dish, and some soup. White rice is very important in China, and people eat it with every meal. You would expect people to eat rice only at lunch, but no. In China, they eat rice with every meal. They usually just boil it or fry it with vegetables and egg. So how do the Chinese people eat rice? They just boil rice, or fry it with vegetable and egg. People usually drink some tea with their food. They don't have soft drinks very often. So this is another difference between Britain and China. In China, they drink some tea with their food and they don't have soft drinks very often. In Britain, I believe it's completely the opposite. You don't drink tea with your food. Maybe they drink soft drinks in Britain after their food or their meal. Everyone here in China eats their food with chopsticks. So this is another difference between China and Britain. Because in Britain, people eat with their spoons and forks and knives. In China, no, they eat with chopsticks. What are chopsticks? Chopsticks are two pieces of wood which you hold in your right hand. It's difficult for us, Zoe speaks for herself and the British people. It's difficult for us to eat with chopsticks, but Chinese people don't find it difficult at all. People here in China eat their food in small bowls. The food here is very good. So this is also another difference between Britain and China. In Britain, people eat in dishes, flat dishes, but in China they eat in bowls. Deep bowls. The food here is very good. We're enjoying our visit to Beijing. Guess what? Chinese people love tea and they think it's very good for you. Sometimes they put flowers like jasmine in their tea. Now, before starting answering the comprehension questions, do you remember the question we asked before reading the text? What did Zoe find interesting or even surprising? In China, she found that the food is very different from the food in Britain, and people eat with chopsticks and they don't find it difficult. Okay, write T for true or F for false. 1. Food in China is very different from food in Britain. The answer is true because in the text it was mentioned that the food here is very different from Britain. 2. Chinese people eat a lot of rice. The answer is true because in the text it was mentioned that white rice is very important in China. They eat it with every meal. 3. Chinese people eat different dishes at the same time. The answer is true because people in China don't have just one main dish for dinner. They have several dishes and they eat them at the same time. 4. Chinese people find it difficult to eat with chopsticks. False. Chinese people don't find it difficult at all. 5. Zoe thinks Chinese food is very good. True. It was the very last sentence in the text. The food here is very good. These are the words of Zoe. Vocabulary. Complete the sentences with these words. Chickens, fish, markets, fry, chopsticks, and bowl. Number 1. Can you feed the, please? Can you feed the chickens, please? Excellent. 2. You can eggs or boil them for breakfast. You can fry eggs. Fry means to cook in hot oil. You can cook eggs in hot oil or boil them for breakfast. You can't fry. 3. Comes from the sea. What comes from the sea? Fish comes from the sea. 4. You can buy lots of things at... Where can you buy things? You can buy them at markets. 5. You eat soup in a bowl. Excellent. 6. People use what in China and Japan? What do people in China and Japan use to eat? They use chopsticks. Look at the pictures and complete the recipe with these words. Add, boil, chop, fry, mix, and slice. Picture number 1. This is the first step in the recipe. The vegetables into small pieces. Which verb comes with vegetables? We say chop. Chop means cut into small pieces. Chop the vegetables into small pieces. 2. The vegetables in the oil until they are soft. Fry the vegetables in the oil. Fry means to cook. As you can see in picture number 2, the vegetables are being fried in oil until they are soft. 3. The rice in a pan for 15 minutes. Boil the rice. As we said, the Chinese boil rice as well. Boil the rice in a pan for 15 minutes. 4. The vegetables to the rice. When you have the preposition to, and we have here two things, we're putting them together, vegetable and rice. Add the vegetables to the rice. 5. The vegetable and the rice together. Mix the vegetables and the rice together. 6. A tomato and place the pieces on the top of the rice. Slice a tomato and place the pieces on the top of the rice. And there you have your recipe. Bon appetit. Thank you.